I'm beautiful and lovely gamers. My name is Jonal with 222 Roll Lock coming right around the corner. I decided that, well, I think it is important to not just make a video right around when the season comes out, especially since the new rank season is going to be like, what, 2 weeks long for a beta season? So, instead of that, what heroes should you work on right now, since that will be the 222 Roll Lock? What heroes in each category will be the most powerful, the most meta, either for teams, but mostly for competitive play, so ranked, solo, to kind of climb and carry with. These will be impactful plays, and of course, as always, you need to be good with a hero, right? If I say, Doomfist is the most busted hero in the game, if you're horrible in Doomfist like I am, you shouldn't pick him in your main rank, most likely. You should play whatever you're good on. And yes, every single hero you can carry with, if you're good enough with it, you can one-trick Bastion to GM, you can one-trick everyone to GM. Sim doesn't matter. How I'm going to talk about the ones that I feel has the biggest advantage both as a coach, but also general as a Grandmaster player, and so on. And as a private coach, of course. So, let's talk about that. Let's start with the damage side, since, well, most people really like that. If you're really good on stuff like Genji and also Doomfist, but especially stuff like Genji and Doomfist, Hanzo is also going to be really good. McCree will still have a very dominating presence on the map, especially with the new introduction of a bunch of flankers and so on. Pharah can still work, however, I would expect to see less play from a lot of people, as there will be probably a lot of hitscan mains coming back into the DPS spots. There will be a lot of people that probably can play McCree and Widow, especially towards the higher lows. You still want to play Pharah like you used back then, instead of when you play against very heavy team competition, Pharah becomes really busted. Soldier will have some play. You can argue for that's where the Soldier power spike is. Same goes with Ashe. Both of these are really good if you really know what to do and you can carry, like we've seen the Fran play Soldier, right? And he's fucking busted with it. But you would argue, from a competitive side point, that heroes like Widowmaker and Hanzo outdoes a Soldier. Even heroes like McCree with his new buff outdoes a Soldier, who would be picking a disadvantage. And normally also, both Hanzo, Kree, Widow kind of fits the spots where Ashe kind of lays in between there. So that's how that will go. So Doomfist and Genji Hanzo, Kree works really good. If you play Sombra, you can do some excessive damage, since there will be a lot of bunker comms being played. Also, Dive, you can do a lot of damage against Dive if you play Sombra correctly, and also, of course, if you play her with Dive. In the end, stuff like Torbjorn can actually work really nicely. With the new buff and against Dive, especially on certain maps and certain sites, you can play Torbjorn now really effectively because he deals a lot with Dive. He's very difficult to isolate and take out on his own. I've scrimmed against teams, or my teams has scrimmed against other teams that, even in like 4.3, 4.4k, plays like Mei Torbjorn. It's almost like clockwork comp, just with, 2-2-2, instead of having a solo heal or anything like that. Tracer and Widowmaker is, of course, in the meta. So that's like the other DPS. Doomfist, Genji, Hanzo, Kree, Sombra, and then some Torbjorn, but especially Tracer, Widowmaker would be like really good. As you can see, most of the damage deals are very prevalent in this patch. That is what it comes to as in the DPS spot. You will probably be the guy that flexes around. Like if you play on a team, you will you either run Dive, Death Ball, or Bunker. And that means that the main tank has like those three heroes to pick in between. You can argue for Wrecking Ball and you can argue for Sigma when he goes live. But it's normally going to be those three heroes at your level, while damage heroes has most of their roster just unlocked to them. So they have they will be the more the flexibility and the playmakers of the team in 2-2, as it's always been with 2-2. When we come over to tanks, you will see those main tanks being played most. Orisa, Ryan, and Monkey. But Ryan is on a weird spot, and he's most likely taken out. There will be certain situations where he will be played, and in certain elos you can play him just fine if you're really good on him. But Dive and Bunker outdoes Death Ball insanely, and we've seen this time and time again, that Dive and Death Ball outdoes Bunker in most of the scenarios that you play, Death Ball. Death Ball is not that good with Ryan, because when you play it against Dive, the Dive will play around the Ryan and just take him and his team out and just pressure him out of the map, and there's not much you can do about the verticality of Dive, and Bunker will most likely shred the Ryan. So on certain points, yes, while you can argue for Death Ball on certain maps, in certain situations, meta-wise, Dive and Death Ball, Dive and Bunker, I think I'm going to say Death Ball in the wrong way. Dive and Bunker will outdo the Death Ball in most scenarios. Off-tank-wise, you will see most off-tanks being played. You will see D.Va, you will see Roadhog, you will see Zarya in the represented positions. You will also probably still see Hammond players, even though it's a little bit weird in 2-2, but you will see Hammond players, as when we queue for 2-2, there will be a bunch of off-tank players that will queue into tank wall, and you will get multiple off-tanks. So I would expect that you will still see Hammond being played, with some weird off tank. It's just that you can't play solo tank anymore, which puts Hammond in this weird spot where he doesn't fit in 100% with all the different other tanks on. You can still play him, but he has this weird spot. Sigma, I'm making a own dedicated video on Sigma, how I feel he is. So, main tanks will be Orisa and Winston a lot. Off tanks will be most of the off tanks, and Hammond, potentially Sigma, and Ryan will most likely be out of that tank meta and won't be the most played at all. And won't give you the biggest advantage to win if you really want to climb up easily and carry and have the easiest climb that you can pick. When it comes to support, a lot of the supports are viable. I've seen Break in competitive play in like high tier scrim duels, even in OWL being played in 2-2 stage. Ana, of course, very prevalent. Zenyatta, very prevalent. Lucio, very prevalent in both dive, death ball, and so on. You can also play him in bunker, but it's mostly in dive and death ball. Mercy, of course, will be prevalent again, and you will probably see some Baptiste being played. But I would expect that it will go rotate back to kind of the static, the normal ones. We're talking Ana, we're talking Zenyatta, we're talking Lucio, we're talking Mercy. Those will most likely be some of the prevalent ones. You might see Baptiste in some bunker comps. Break and Moira will most likely be picked out, as they're not run in the same cluster comps, and with Deathball being taken out, you will see most likely a lack of these two. They will still be played on the ladder, but I don't think they will have as much impact as the other supports because of what you will face on the ladder. You can play Moira, especially if they're playing a very assassin, you know, like double flank or dive comp against you, and you don't have a team that can peel for you, and you have to play support, and so on. You might want to pick up Moira just because you're a little bit more difficult to get to and run down, but you still bring that steady support healing in. But outside that, I think that Moira, while having impact on the match, I just think if you really want to get good support, getting good at Ana, getting good at Zenyatta, getting good at Lucio, will heavily help you impact the matches much more. And then getting good at Mercy is just one of the things that is just a pick that can be nice in a lot of situations. Even though Mercy, I know, is, surprise, surprise, not the funnest character to play in the game. I know there's some people that love her, but for me at least, it's never been the funnest character to play. You will most likely see her played especially in competitive scrims and so on, as she's played in, for example, double sniper bunker. In a lot of pick comps, like bunker, you will see Mercy being played to do reses and to damage boost, to win shield wars, and to generally just have more pressure and presence on the map. Most likely synergized with a Zenyatta for the damage into trance. You will most likely see that, especially in the competitive scene, but also you will probably see that in very try-hard teams on the ladder. So, that's my predictions for what heroes will be most likely viable on the 2-2 patch when that goes live. Unless there are some balance changes that come through anything else, then those are most likely the ones that will be ladder. But down below, who are you going to play in the 2-2? Are you excited? Are you not excited? I would love to hear your opinions down below. If you want to hire me as a private coach and improve over the summer, now that it is summer, even though it's starting to get to the end, it's €50 for a 2-hour session. So hit me up on my Discord server, which is linked down in the description. I can help you rank up. Doesn't matter if you're bronze or 500. I can help you rank up anyway. So yeah, I hope I see you there. I hope you guys have a lovely summer. Please drink a lot of water because it's super hot outside. Take care, this is the positive. And so much, man. You guys keep that to me. Your crosshair.